Hello, Cmixx here again, another magical reality. I just want to thank everyone again for watching it and sharing it. I just saw yesterday a big blog out here posted my stuff, so that was good to see. Anyway, today just wanted to talk about a few different things. A few more things about frequency and some other stuff too, just about success and making things happen for you, which includes failures and bad things. So first off, I was just reading an article on my phone about Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg saying how they've recently in the past acquired a company called Oculus Rift. It's a virtual reality thing where you take your phone and you put it in these goggles and you get these things that go in your hands, so you get a panoramic view of all you can see is what's going on these virtual reality programs. It's still in its infancy stages, but they're trying to make it more mainstream, and eventually what he said they're going to try to be doing after that is transferring thoughts to people. Telekinesis, basically. So their philosophy is the internet opened a lot of things. It started us sharing with text, whether emails or tweets or instant messages, whatever. Now we got Instagram, Facebook type stuff, Twitter updated to make pictures and videos available. So now we're more in a picture sharing phase. In the future, and I've read this in other articles too, video sharing's gonna get a lot bigger. There's new social apps out there like Meerkat. I think Twitter owns that one actually, but media sharing is on the rise, and one thing always leads to the next. So once we satisfy ourselves with one certain type of media, then something new comes along, and eventually we all get onto that. So what they're predicting and what they're trying to make a possibility is sharing your thoughts when you want to with someone just instantly. And yeah, I found it interesting because I've known about telekinesis and thoughts transferring through energy for a while now, and I even talked about it the other day. A good example is just walking into a room and picking up on the vibe in there without you even knowing what was going on. So based on my background working with frequency and just understanding of frequency in general, it's totally possible because everything has a frequency signature, and essentially it would be about decoding those and then finding a way to transfer them to the next person through a means of some sort of a network. So I'm not a computer scientist or anything. I don't really have any ideas of how to make this a possibility or how they are gonna, but it's on the horizon is my point. They're already talking about it, thinking about it, working on ways to make it work. And my point about all this is to show you that one of the biggest companies in the world, billion-dollar companies, is developing this technology because it's feasible. Because our thoughts are frequency-based, are electromagnetic, they are receivable and transferable. So it's just a matter of figuring out how to do that. And another thing I've thought about for years now is, again, I don't have a actual solution. I have a few hypotheses how it could happen, but to be able to record your dreams and ultimately your thoughts. You know, like how many times in a day do you have a fleeting thought, a quick thought might be great. It could be even $1 million idea, and then I've even had it to where within from 1 minute to the next I forget what it was. And I'm grasping for it, and I have little clues, and it just evades us like that, and then maybe weeks later it might just pop in your head again. So we have the capabilities already built into us. It's just about harnessing them, and it all boils down back to frequency. So, you know, maybe we can't be telepathic right now, maybe it's not a possibility at the moment, but it will be. And like I was saying about being able to record your thoughts and dreams, you know, that's nothing more than essentially what a VCR does. You connect it through an interface, which is, you know, an HDMI cord, or back in the day, a RCA cable with a VCR. And the signal from the TV was piped into the VCR, and if you hit record with a blank tape, excuse me, if you hit record with a blank tape in there, it would transfer the signal to a magnetic based medium, the tape, and then when you replayed it in the VCR, it was able to decode that magnetic signal that it transferred to the tape, decode that, and send it back through the same wires the opposite way back to the TV for you to see. So the technology, the school of thought and everything is there. Now it's a matter of interfacing that to our brain, which on the flip side has been happening. So they have lots of science out right now, and things where there's electrodes being put into certain areas of people's brains. They have little things they put in a syringe they can inject into your head that will go to a specific area of the brain and then emit a signal that they can connect to, and now you're interfaced into your brain. They've done it with blind people where they put glasses on them with a camera, probably 2 cameras, and run leads to their visual cortex, connected with a metal spike basically into their brain, an electrode, connect the wire to the cameras. So what they're doing is they're bypassing their actual eyes. They're taking the external stimulation from the world, from the surroundings, transferring it through the cameras. The cameras encoded into a digital analog signal, which then is transferred through the wires into the visual cortex. And the cortex, the brain, is ran off electrical signals, so it's native to it. So what happens is the blind people are now able to see in their brain. Their brain is able to see the external stimulation. And granted, it's not mainstream yet, but it's a classic example of bypassing the external sensory to connect it to whether a computer, or, you know, in the case of recording dreams, would be some sort of a hard drive. And you know, I assume a dream isn't as direct as the vision, you know, where it's just the visual cortex. The dream probably is stimulating multiple areas, you know, because you're visually seeing stuff, you're problem solving. Some dreams you might be worried for your security or you know, safety, and those types of flight or fight responses happen. So ultimately, if we were to record that, we would have to coalesce all the data going on, form it into a single consumable media, you know, kind of like how I'm recording this video now. It's capturing the visual, it's capturing the audio, and within those, much more information is being transferred through that, you know, not just verbally from what I'm saying, but all my surroundings, your picking up cues, you know what I mean? You're picking up clues of what's going on. Body language, you know, any interaction you have, body language is a big part of the communication. So it's not just about the words coming out of your mouth. Now, getting back into your reality, your own thoughts, everything like that, you shouldn't wait around until it's mainstream, until it's widely accepted, until it's proven scientifically or something, or proven mainstream enough. Like having Facebook bring it out, like you can implement this stuff now today using techniques that Facebook and stuff are going to use anyway to make telepathy a reality. So we have these abilities inherently, and whether we know it or not, we use them. Sometimes we don't realize it, or we don't give it the credit. You know, we just assume it to be a coincidence or something. But thoughts, frequencies, energy is real. It's what everything's made of. It's the molecules around us, the vibrations, the energy, the frequency. That's all it's about. Now, the frequencies of your thoughts will dictate the frequency of your body, of your existence, and then what's attracted to you. So we got to keep these on higher levels as best as possible. And I'm not gonna lie, it's not always easy. You know, it's easy to let something negative or stressful take over your mind, but you just got to let that happen and be aware of it, and you know, try to deviate from it as best you can. But by sitting there and dwelling on it and like, oh man, I gotta stop thinking about this, it's just gonna make it worse. So just, you know, be open to what happens, just let it flow in, flow out. Just try to focus more on the positive stuff, and you know, use your mind power to create the lasting synapses in your brain to actually make it more automatic. So now the way I want to segue this into from frequency into success and into failure is kind of ties into my last video about balance. Now, and about the one about the frequencies. If you remember, I was talking about a frequency waveform. Most of us have all seen one. It's an up and then a down. That's one cycle. You have the top part, which is called compression, and the bottom part is called rarefaction. So if you think about that midpoint, the crossing line, that's zero. Now that's even. That's the baseline, okay? The frequency will come up above that, and then same distance below that. Just like how the stock market has its ups and downs and ups and downs, and if you look at it from a zoomed out perspective and just kind of watch the shape of it, it's usually a lot of just troughs and valleys and ups and downs and peaks and dips. So what that tells you is you know, that's frequency right there. Frequency of the ups and the frequency of the downs. But you can't have an up without a down. You need the down to make the next up. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise you just have a straight line, which is zero. So success, business, life, there's always going to be setbacks, challenges, downsides, obstacles. You know, or just when you think things are going good, out of nowhere something happens or changes the course of things, and you know, you just got to make the best of the situation, and not even hope, but know that just by staying true to your values and your pursuits, you'll come out of it ahead. Because think back to the frequency. You can't always be at your peak. You know what I mean? You can't always be at your peak. So you have to go through the challenging times, the challenges, the setbacks, whatever, and that'll make your next peak even higher. And then once you start getting good at it, you can start making the intervals longer, so you can enjoy the peaks. You can get through the valleys. They're not as bad because it's more gradual. It's not as sharp. You know what I mean? So by having more control of your life, more balance, you can have the good things, and you can get through the bad things, knowing that the next good thing's going to happen. So don't think that, you know, I'm on here talking about just life is just always great and like nothing bad ever happens, you know, because you need to have that to have the good. You know, you need to have white to know what black is. You need to have loud to know what low is. You need to have tall to know what short is. You know, so it's just a part of life and physics. And the better you can understand that and use it to your advantage, the better life you're going to have, the easier things are going to happen for you, the more enjoyable, etc., etc. So think about that. Think about your frequency, keeping your frequency at an elevated level as much as possible. Being grateful, you know, helping other people out, ways you can help out. Following your passion, starting a business that not only you enjoy, but you can help other people while doing it. These are all things that are going to raise your vibrations. These are all ways to attract better things in your life, and you know, you got to start somewhere. And so even just by watching these videos and paying attention and you know, taking the things out of them that you feel like you could use, and you know, using those, it's a start. And that's all you need to do is just start taking the small steps, and that will lead to bigger things and more momentum and more satisfaction. So hopefully you know, some of this will help. Let me know in the comments, give me some feedback, let me know what else you want me to talk about, or if you got any questions. But until next time, go on Instagram, follow me, Cmixx, 2 X's. Follow the studio, Magic City Studios. Follow the clothing line, Grand's Lifestyle. Then the websites for the studio is magiccity510.com and grandslifestyle.com. So go check that out. Subscribe to the channel, follow on the social networks, share the videos, help me get the views up. It's, you know, you can play your part, leave comments, and I'll see you tomorrow. All right, bye.